And it's kind of similar to the Great Divide that I did in Peru. Border between Morocco and Algeria. Now I'm gonna go to Algeria. Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I want to talk to you about my routes for this upcoming motorcycle trip. And in the previous video I said I'm going to start in Europe and then go down to Morocco, come back to Europe, and then go to Central Asia and eventually the Far East. But that's a long journey. I'm not going to do that in one go. So this whole trip is going to be divided into two different stages, okay? And between the two stages, I'm going to take a break. And so for the first stage, I'm going to first start in Europe and then go down to Morocco, explore the Sahara Desert, the Plateau, the Mediterranean Sea, etc. And then come back to Europe and then head to the Balkans, which is East Europe. So for the Europe section, I'm not planning on spending too much time there because, well, first off, it's very expensive to travel in all the European countries. And second of all, I don't know, I'm not a very big fan of all the European countries. I don't know, for some reason, and don't hate me on that. I'm not trying to offend anybody. You know, Europe is a beautiful place and it has a lot of diverse cultures, people, of course, but it's not my cup of tea. So I try to minimize the amount of days I spend in Europe as much as possible and trying to get to East Europe where the average cost will be a little bit lower. So that's my plan for that section of the stage one. And yeah, but I'm very excited about Morocco because I am planning on spending a lot of time, probably a month to a month and a half down there, because I want to do this Trans-Morocco Trail, which is about 3,100 kilometers in total distance, with 80% of it all dirt roads and the rest of it is just pavement. So let me show you where exactly I'm going on the map. So this is north of Morocco. That's the Mediterranean Sea, Atlantic Sea, and over there, that little piece is Spain. I will be crossing the sea from Spain to Morocco right here, Tanger Med. Okay, so the Trans-Morocco Trail is about, the total distance is about 3,100 kilometers, and it starts out from the Mediterranean Sea in the city called Nador, right here. And then it goes down to the Sahara Desert along the border between Morocco and Algeria. Not going to go to Algeria, but I'm going to be traveling along the border between these two countries, and that's where the trail is. Now let's go to the south. Now the trail takes me to the Sahara Desert along the border between these two countries, and also at some point it will go up to the plateau in this area, the Atlas Mountains, and you see that's Marrakesh. That's another major city in Morocco, but I'm not going to go there. And then come back down to the Sahara Desert again, and then continue south, and then eventually get to this point. I think the end point is called Cap Draa, and that's by the Atlantic Ocean. 80% of the trail is going to be all dirt road, sand maybe, and then the rest of it is just pavement. And it's kind of similar to the Great Divide that I did in Peru last year, because it's the whole trail is not just one single road, but instead it consists of many little roads as well as some main roads. But it's like after you get off the little road, you get on the main road, and then after 1 kilometer or two, you make a turn and get on another little road. So it's gonna be like that throughout the whole trail. After I reach Cap Draa, the last point on the trail, I'm trying to decide if I want to continue down south to visit southern part of Morocco, or I should start heading back north, depending on the time frame, right? Because I know in April, Europe is still like in the early spring period, where the weather is kind of unpredictable. There might be a lot of rain, or I don't know, in the mountain area it might be snow. So I'll have to see when's the best time to return to Europe and then go to the Balkans. My estimated duration in Morocco is 1 month to a month and a half. But before that, I need to get a motorcycle in Europe and then get all the documents ready before I leave. So that would take some time as well. But everything is in progress. I've made a lot of progress this past 2 weeks. I've made a lot of route plannings as well as gear preparation. And when I get to East Europe, I really want to explore the Balkans thoroughly. But at the same time, I want to save money. I don't really want to be spending a lot of money in Europe since East Europe is still part of Europe. But in some countries like Bosnia, Montenegro, Bulgaria, they are relatively less expensive compared to Western Europe. So I'm probably going to spend more time in these countries and trying to explore the Balkans. All right, thank you so much for watching this episode and stay tuned for more content. Ciao.